Cardi B. I mean, people really love to hate her.
Right.
And they're gonna be like, yo, she didn't sleep with anyone to get to the top. I was like, actually, I was like, as a dancer, she probably slept with people in the chorus, but not due to like trying to be a rapper. Just based on her lifestyle in general. I don't think it has to do with rapping. I was like.
And today we're talking about former strippers who are now R&B artists. All right, what we're going to talk about today is hiring. A lot of y'all have wanted to know where was Valencia, because a lot of y'all have been calling Patty on the DL like, hey, are you real? Is Valencia still there? Is he still working out of his Volkswagen? So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few things. Like, one, stop arguing with Patty about the books. All right, this is how it goes. This starts with me. You get one free book, and you have to give your number. If you do not give your number, you do not get the free book. It's not going down. So I have vested Patty with the power to ignore you if you get out of pocket. You want to start fights. You want to argue and go back and forth and send her 15 emails. Just letting you know. All right, so today's episode is about hiring and building a team. Hey, this is Glendon Cameron, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu. If you want to learn how to start a business, if you want to learn how to hustle, if you want to learn how to build generational wealth, go ahead and slap that subscribe button. And also, for those of you who want to enhance your game, give me your number, because that way you'll never, ever miss another live stream. So we're going to bring Valencia back, who's got a lot of hair today.
Yeah, guys. Let's not get into the hair. It was a real hair morning, so we decided to throw on a nice unit. I was like, hey, hi everyone, it's been a while. How's everyone been?
Because they thought you were gone. It's like, Valencia don't work here anymore. Like, Valencia's been working her ass off.
Yeah, I actually work, so like, I'm a little bit more comfortable because, like I said, before I came, if you guys know, moved here from New York. When I was working in New York, I'm like looking into this mic like it's the camera. When I came from New York, I was actually consulting and working for myself. So I was actually out of a workspace in Soho. We worked that offered the free beer because, I need that past 5 o'clock. Just if I'm going to be there to midnight, like I would sit there to midnight sometimes. So I like the flexibility of being able to work from home. And I work more than 8 hours, so I would like to be comfortable about doing it. So that's pretty much why, working from home, I'm way more productive. I'm able to schedule out my day in advance, and like you can ask him, he's probably getting emails. He'll get emails from me at 2 o'clock. Like I have no regard for the sleep. Like I don't care. Like I'm just like.
And this is why my phone stays on silent.
Like I'm sending emails at between 1 and 4. It's jumping. I'm pretty sure in his email account, I'm like, yeah, can you look over this? Can you look over this? This is what I did for the day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. That's pretty much how it goes for me. But I've been here, guys. I've missed you guys. I'm watching just like you guys from home. I'm tuned in just like you guys from home.
All right. We're going to talk about some stuff that happened here at Hustlers Kung Fu that Valencia has been very much a part of, and that was the hiring process. So now that we've had time to heal from our wounds, let's go back to the first set of interviews, and how did that go?
Awful. What do you guys? They were awful, guys. Like, I've done hiring before, but even on a retail, we're trying to get you into working at Abercrombie and Fitch was better than the situations I was presented here when I was like, I don't know if it was the platform that we were using or how, what I'm saying, like, also too, the platforms based on what city you live in make a difference. Like Craigslist in New York, the quality of ads and things that you'll find on Craigslist in New York are way better than what you're going to find in Atlanta. That's just what it is. Like, you can get I got a whole real job in New York off of Craigslist at one point, like a whole gig. Like, I was doing, like, working for a surveillance company, helping them with their marketing. And their,
you got this job off Craigslist.
Yeah, and saying. I got this job off. But the thing was, getting this gig off Craigslist, to me, was a whole fluke, because I would go through the Craigslist ads, and I'm like, why does it feel like I'm being scammed? Like, while you're looking for this, like, I just feel like these people are trying to finesse me into, like, some pyramid scheme. But then when I saw his ad, I was like, this looks pretty normal. Let's check it out to see if it's a scheme in real life. But then when I went, I was like, oh no, it's a regular job. It's just like the quality of job that you will find in the Craigslist ad space here is a little bit different and more hard to come by, the good ones. So, or if not, they just don't last long, the good ones, and I didn't, I just happened to be on a fluke. But also, too, on the other opposite end of the spectrum, not looking for jobs, but actually trying to hire people from Craigslist. Boy.
Go ahead, use your radio voice.
Like, let me tell you guys, first and foremost, like, it was a shit show. Like, I can't even, like, some people would show up without a resume. If I'm asking you to do a creative job, especially in things of, like, IT, web developer, I don't really care about your I care about your educational background, your work background, but I'm not going to care if you worked at Fridays, okay, as a bartender. What I want to see is your work that you've done. Like, just bring your work. You don't even have to do nothing else. People were showing up without their resumes. They ain't have no portfolios. All the sites they were working on never existed, I think. Like, I was just like, why are you here? And why are you wasting my time? Like, I've never seen things like this. But then again, like, I felt like it was a good experience overall to, like, see both ends of the spectrum. So just like me looking for employers, and like I'm thinking that it's some wild situations as searching for a job on Craigslist. I'm like, oh, they're a hot mess. I don't want to deal with these people. Being the employer looking for some of these interviews, looking for a
It's real on the other side of the interview table, boy.
Like, sometimes people came in and I was like, yeah, so tell me about yourself. Literally one guy said like one word. I can't even remember the word. It was like, yeah, I'm awesome or something. And I was like, could you elaborate on how awesome you are or something? Like, yeah, you look at someone, I'm waiting for you to finish. I was like, it's like I'm awesome. And then it just sounded really open-ended, like he was going to go into something else. And he just stared at me. Like, just... I was like, all right, cool. Well, thank you for your time. And it was like, yeah, when would I hit back? I was like, you'll hear from us soon. You had to hit him with the standard, like, we'll get in touch. We'll be done interviews, and we'll get back around to you. AKA, in the New York terms, you might not ever get a letter or response. Because sometimes, like, some of the companies, too, which I learned just even from New York. I'm from, actually, the D.C. area, but just from working in New York and other cities and stuff, what I didn't understand is even with employees, like, it is the proper, I would say, it's the proper process to go through the interview. People follow up. They send a follow-up thank you email or whatever, like thanking me for the interview within a day, and then I'll send them a response if they're, in a week after we made our selection. But if anyone's been recently applying for jobs, maybe every 1 out of 10 interviews you may get, those people may let you know you didn't get the position. But for the most part, if they choose another candidate, you never just hear back from them. Or is that weird? Is that weird?
Well, I think it's pretty much rude, but it's
just like if you have a lot of people coming in, like if you've had interviews with people like more than like 50 interviews, or some people, like, you're doing mass interviews, like on an abundance, you might have 150 interviews that week. You do have a regular job outside of hiring people. So I feel like the people who are candidates or potential candidates, they'll get follow-up calls automatically. But if people are really interested in the job, I feel like they'll turn around and follow up with you, and then you'll just answer those people. We'll take the Equifax situation and we'll just apply it to this. With that whole reach, they're not reaching out to everybody, not the 145 million people. They're only going to reach out to the people they know that their stuff was leaked, like the 300 people with the credit open score. Like, we're going to reach out to them. But
I didn't even worry about that because I have like a monitoring thing. So
no. I definitely, I'm gonna need to go ahead and check this. But you have to make the initiative on your own if you really want something or pursue it. I feel like that's how employees have been looking at it. Like, we can pick from any candidate and we're not going to follow up with you. But, like, that's the only thing. So that's the proper process.
Well, one of the things, because of the disaster that was hiring, we learned a lot. And one of the things is we're giving you behind the scenes stuff of what happens, because many people have a crazy misconception about employers, like they have a lot of money, they're just not letting you have the job, when there's so many more things that go into it. Because since the children, we'll get into the children in a minute, I've been hiring freelancers. Had a freelancer do a logo. Matter of fact, I got, hold on, let's see if we can see that. All right. Oh, that's actually kind of, all right. That's going to be the Fat Cat Secret T-shirt, right? It's probably going to be a black or red shirt, and he's going to color it in, and we may do it like a stencil. I don't know yet, but that's going to be it. And he's a freelancer. He's responsive and stuff. So essentially, I backed down because I still want to get a full-time web developer, and I still want to get a full-time graphics artist, but we're not going to go through the drama that we went through before, because there's just something wrong with Atlanta. I mean, that's just the reality, because I listed an ad for a client in New York's Craigslist, and there was like 100 responses in 24 hours.
No, I think it might have been within 3.
It was actually, I had to shut it down. And they actually didn't even hire the person they hired from that. But part of the thing is, and this is really important, if you want your company to grow, you got to hire. But hiring is hard. So if you spend a year or two, let's be realistically, a year or two figuring out hiring, you're going to position your company to grow like no other company can. Because like I referenced getting business insurance for this spot, that the lady told me that most of the people going there for insurance don't have the payroll that we have, and we don't really have that many people. So it's really interesting. But one of the things that really stood out with the hiring was there's a lot of millennials who still live at home with their parents who really aren't interested in getting a job. That is hands down one of the biggest things that cracks me up. It's like, I get a job, cool. If I don't get a job, I can still stay with my mom and dad. So that's one of the reasons that I went for a hire. Go ahead.
I think it's different because, like, I don't know if I would consider myself a millennial.
You're a different kind of child.
I'm like on the outskirts of the millennial bubble, but I get the tease of like not working for yourself. and I'm gonna be honest, it started in my era, because like social media prior to what happened in 2008 to like 2012, that was like a weird recession that happened. So people were just like, but that's when different social media was kind of starting to boom. So Instagram came out during that period. Twitter was still kind of having a fire, and then blogging was still like a big thing, like fashion bloggers, like you were still checking out their thing. So at this point, people really weren't monetizing. They weren't monetizing these social medias like my generation at the time wasn't. We were just doing it. One, we had no jobs.
Okay.
2, we needed validation that we weren't retarded people. Like, we just wanted to know, like, in life, like, we wanted people to tell us we look great. Like, we wanted people to lift us up, because in the reality of our own perspective, people weren't getting jobs, people weren't working. The dreams that you had that when you were graduating were not coming into fruition. Like, I graduated at the top of my class. Like, I graduated cum laude. Barely went to class. I don't know how that happened. But, like, I had this thing, like, I want to get a job once I first come out. I didn't get a regular corporate job for 2 years. That might have been the best thing that ever happened to me, because I realized that I don't need a regular 9-to-5 job and 9-to-5 paycheck. And the consistency, I can earn more, which actually is the case till today. I can earn more freelancing and contracting, basically, aka hustling, than having a regular steady check. The thing is, to make that happen, you need time management and good money management skills. Now, all young kids don't have that. Let me give you a heads up. Like, I have friends, and I'm gonna be honest, I got friends who, I'm going on 30. I got friends who ain't never had a job, not one.
What?
Never been to an office, don't have a resume, don't even know how to make one.
Wait a minute. How have these folks survived this long?
And live good. Like, that's another thing. And live, like, I'm talking about, I'm going to Tokyo next month. I'm going to Paris in January. Like, living good. Like, not a T. Like.
Oh, you mean that these folks were freelancing, making money, but they just never had, like, a regular job situation?
I'm talking about they never had a regular job. And then, like, along the way, you're interacting with other people and they're just like, oh, you're a cool person, or here, just work on this project. So that stuff kind of ends up, which people think in a weird way, I don't encourage this, but stuff in a way kind of just falls into their lap. I'm like, what? Like, literally, I'm like, what? Stuff kind of falls into their lap. So it's like, now it's like my group of friends, even for the people who haven't been working, they're still my friends and stuff. But if there's a project or something, even like the same people I'm talking about, I know that they have the social network, and that social network, I know, or that network that they have, I know what it's worth. So it's like, yo, you could throw them a bone. Here, we'll do this. We're going to make this happen. We're going to have this event. We're going to do that. And they'll be like, cool. I'm like, I'm going to give you this amount of money. Out of the sheer fact that you know that what that person's worth, you'll pay them. I really don't get off on the idea of you not paying your friends for their services. If that's their job, or if that's what if they're contributing some value to you or to help you expand, pay your friends. Like, I hate that. Pay your friends. Pay for the service. If someone's asking me to help them get plugged with a PR person at Athletic Records and they end up getting a deal or something like that, or if I help them get an event space for free, or I'm helping them throw an event, I'm not asking you to pay me what my regular service costs are and what my regular fees are. But what I'm asking you is to have some type of, like, what's the word that I want to use?
Coof?
Yeah, like some kind of, to just be like, yo, I'm not trying to hustle you. I'm not trying to swindle you. I'm going to give you something. My services may cost me like $1,500 to put your whole event on. Girl, just throw me $100 or something, because my time is valuable and I'm giving you my time. You know, I'm doing this on the friend discount. Oh, for sure, because I would never. But like something, you know? So that's basically that. But like I said, I do that for my friends. I've had friends who never had jobs. I got friends who like live on this influencer lifestyle, and the problem is, even though we kind of created it, my generation hasn't mastered it. I think the generation who's mastered how to really kind of make money and finesse the net is anyone from the ages of, at this point, if you're starting from the age of like 23 and down. And when I say from 23 and down, 23 to the age of when I'm a parent and I'm telling my child, you need to relax on that. So that may be like 23 to 13, because like at a certain point you still want to filter what kids have. So I want to give it like maybe 15 to be safe. So 15 to like 23, those kids really know how to finesse the net and make money, because there's some 15-year-olds out here who are really getting these endorsement deals. Like I'm talking about, I see them in Nike campaigns. I've actually dealt with some of them. One of the guys, his name is Luka Saba. I don't know if anyone's familiar with him, but the kid was in high school when we were dealing with him. As soon as he graduated high school, he's never had a job. I don't even think he went to college. He might be doing some night college stuff, but like as soon as he finished high school, what's the point? He's making at least $350K a year from his deals. Like, realistically.
You know, a friend of mine, Alpha Marina, we had this conversation about 4 years ago, and we were saying, how do you manage a teenager who makes $150,000 to $500,000 a year? Because the minute that they turn legal,
you become a momager.
They're getting out.
No, you become a momager.
A momager?
Like, yeah.
Wait a minute. What's a momager? Go ahead.
Like, okay, so a parent, you become Kris Jenner.
Okay.
Period. A momager. If you have a child, like social media is so fickle, and like you can go viral. Anyone knows this off of something stupid. Like, either it can be great or something really stupid.
The backpack kid, just that shit right there.
Yeah, like something just random can make a whole person. You can kind of change overnight. But the problem is, like, either people don't know how to capitalize on it, people don't know how to make it work for themselves, and people also don't know how to make consistent content. So either the kid's witty enough to like continue to make this content that people want to see, or they're attractive enough that people just want to keep coming to check for them. But at any point in case, you need a momager, or not a manager, but that's when your parent kind of turns into your manager. So, a dadager, a momager, whatever the case may be. And they're the ones who's negotiating these deals for you. So, I mean, if you have children out there, any of you guys have children out there, and they are like on the track to like busting into like influencer market fame, I would probably like suggest that you guys maybe look at some management type of things in terms of like product deals, paid placement, all of that. Just learning some of that stuff because I feel like people who are influencers still don't know how to deal with stuff like that. Like Kelsey. What's that girl? She literally, if you look at, so there's a girl on YouTube. Her name is Kelsey Simone, and like she's like a prime example of what I'm talking about. Like I found this girl on accident probably like a year ago. She probably at the time had 20, maybe 15 or 20,000 followers, and she put out one video. I swear on everything, it went crazy. I don't know what happened. I don't know if because she has this Kylie Jenner, she looks like Kylie Jenner, but she is hot.
She
went from like within the span of 2 months from 20,000 to like 1.7 million followers from one video. And like her mom became her mom luckily is a photographer and a consultant who works from home, became a momager. And so like her endorsement deals, once she hit 1 million, her mom just started to curate her endorsement deals. So she now went from just being a kid who was sitting on her bed making these random Justin Bieber videos to like now you'll see her, she's the face of like Fresh, and if you guys know about Fresh skincare products, or like Bare Minerals or L'Oreal. Like once you start getting these corporate kind of deals, like you need somebody to kind of like oversee you, and it's better if you can keep it in house so all the money kind of stays in house and you're not kind of getting finessed by an agency. So like I said, if you know all that stuff, you should probably look into it, because I have friends who work as talent agencies too, and they take like one in particular, I'm not going to say the name, but they oversee like some of the top names, and at minimum they're taking 30 to 50% of what the people make. So if you want to keep all that in house, you should probably learn that, especially if your child is like this budding star.
That is very, very
she overnight, like this is crazy. Like she went from one video, everything. And then I think I don't know, but it was like weird. So like I said, if you guys look at her, she's a YouTuber. I found her on
How to Look Cute with No Effort. Oh, damn.
How to Look Cute with No Effort.
Yeah,
she probably got 350,000 views on that, right?
No, 3.6 million.
3.6 million views. Who knew?
3.6.
I really just underestimated that.
It is wow. Laura Hazel, yeah, they don't know I work with some influencer management companies. Because one of the things that, we're getting ready to do here at Hustlers Kung Fu, let you in on this, we're going to start creating influencers. And we're going to start having courses and training classes. That's why this office is so different, because I figured out, they make desks about half this size.
Yeah.
So I can literally get 20 desks in here. 20 people.
I told you that these like desks were kind of large.
Well, that was just for one thing.
I was like,
well, no, that's gonna go back over there. But
okay.
We're gonna get like 5, because 10 desks and 2 people can sit at each desk. We got the whiteboard and everything, because we got a guy who's gonna come in and teach people how to do.
Chris McDonald's so funny. She barely got 150. I swear, Chris, she got that off of one Justin Bieber reaction video. That's how it was a Justin Bieber reaction video, and I don't even like Justin Bieber. But well, I had to figure it out. I was like, where did this come from?
Well, part of it is how the YouTube algorithm works, because essentially, what YouTube is trying to do is match. Well, let's start at the beginning. The video inventory is just too much for any one person to watch. So what they do, this is why, like, if you have 150,000 subscribers and you put out a video, only 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 are going to get the alert, and only so many are going to watch. So what it tries to do is match interest with people, and it's getting better and better and better. And this is why you can literally have someone who could they hit the right video, the right time, and then they use the right tags and titles, and boom, it blows up. Because one of the things, and this is something you really got to be careful about, is you have to make watchable videos. You can have a great, quote, optimization. It doesn't really matter if your video is unwatchable, because if your video is not watchable, what's going to happen is the YouTube algorithm is going to punish you and not recommend that video to anybody. So that's a big, big thing. But yeah, we're getting ready to do all kinds of stuff in here. We're going to do YouTube training. We're going to do Facebook marketing, and we're going to do Google AdWords marketing training in-house. And for those of you who have Hustlers Kung Fu, if you want to show up, you can. Yeah, you just got to get your plane ticket and your hotel room. And yeah, because I'm not putting you up. And then, you know, we're going to have these classes on the regular.
What about live stream? You couldn't like stream it live and people got to log in for it? I feel
What
like
do you mean?
I could, like if we're having the in-house, in-house training, you can do it like college. Like I didn't have to go to classes because it was always sometimes live
Well,
stream.
what we're going to do first before we get into all that, because like, okay, let's explain this live streaming thing because I know exactly what you're talking about. And they did this at Vid Summit where I went. This computer right here is like $5,000, right? And it's an i7 chip. It's 64 gigabytes of RAM. And I got 2 cameras, 2 mics, and we're at the CPU. We're at 26%. And when I did this screen capture right here, oh yeah, I'll do that. It went up to so at 26%. So before we get into the live captures and stuff, we're gonna nail down the presentation and the courses because live streaming. Because you know I make this look really simple, but it's really hard because it took me a minute to figure this out. And here's the live streaming tip: if you're going to live stream even Google Hangout, you want to hardline. You want to have your computer wired into your router. You don't want to use Wi-Fi. That's one of the reasons that this is pretty clear because it's wired into the modem. And Wi-Fi, you don't get all the speed. There is a reduction in speed, which means there's a reduction in streaming. So that's just some of the stuff that you should. You just love this camera stuff, don't you?
I ain't even paying attention. I'm like, Jesus.
Well, and you know, getting back to the core of the stream is hiring people is hard, and it is critical for the growth of your company. And this is why so many people are 1, 2, and 3, and maybe 4 people operation, and that's it. And then you'll have someone who will have the courage to hire because it's a lot of courage. Then they'll grow into this 50, 100, 150 person firm. And the difference is hiring and learning how to hire. That is the only difference. You could be a 1 or 2 person operation that could literally have the DNA, the wisdom, the skill sets to be $100 million, $200 million company, or even $1 billion company. But because you don't want to hire anybody, you're going to stay at 6 figures or less than 6 figures. That's just how important it is to learn how to hire. And, you know, we went through all of these gyrations, right? We went through the children. We'll talk about the children. The children were 2 creatives. And one of the things I've learned is you got to deal with creatives very differently than you deal with customer service, shipping, logistics, because they're creative people. And the more creative they are, the more temperamental they are. So what I'm going to do is I'm still looking for this graphic artist in-house. I'm still looking for the website person, but I'll use creatives and stuff and build relationships or try them out first before I hire them, because there is nothing worse than hiring somebody who is mad because they feel undervalued, they feel underpaid, even though they signed off on the offer letter. It's a trip. It really is. Let's see, what do we have in the chat room? Archangel 357, you need a video engineer. Okay, let's talk about this. Hustler, well, Mac Daddy Media is profitable. Why? Because we don't have a whole bunch of people up in here. Like if I go ahead and get, quote, a video engineer, you know how much those people charge? $50,000 to $125,000 a year. So until the revenues get to where they need to be, I'm going to be the video engineer. And this is real important too. One of the things you have to do is do the things you can do and then hire people to do other things you're not good at. I'm very good at this video stuff. So probably I'm looking at what makes the money. And what makes the money is the creation of content. What makes the money is the creation of courses. Hiring a video engineer would be nice, but that doesn't make the money. Now, hopefully within the next six to 7 months, there'll be a full-time camera person around here. And they'll be the video engineer. They'll be the camera person. They'll be the live streaming person. They'll be the editor. But you must do things that make money before you do things that are nice to have, that can make money later. So that's one of the things. Guy in model number 2. What is model number 2? So we will be on cameras on you just so you know. She doesn't even care. Let's see. Best outcome that was using tip agency. All right. So any questions about hiring people? Because we try to keep these things a little short, because the hour is just too much for people to do it. Yeah, I mean, the video engineer, yeah, it's nice to have, and it would be cool and cozy and stuff. But once again, you know, my job here is as a manager, and I have to look at certain things because, you know, there will be a camera person here. And there will be a graphic artist person, and there'll be a website person. It may just take 5 months or maybe even a year before I can get them in place, because we're not having any more crazy situations up here because we made some bad hires. And I'm telling you this, one of the best ways to learn how to hire properly is to hire badly because you learn so much. It's painful, it's expensive, but you do learn a lot. So let's see, what do we got in here? Adult attention span is roughly 40 to 45 minutes. Okay. All right, well, we're getting ready to bounce. So what I'm going to say is, if you want to be part of the Hustler Camp experience, just go below. And also, prepayment plan means prepayment. And this is why it's called a prepayment plan. You must make all of your payments before you get in Hustle Camp, or you can accelerate your payments, and, you know, we'll get you in there. Because let's say you go to the bank and you get a loan for a car. You stop paying, that car can repossess that, the bank can repossess that car, right? You get yourself a mortgage, you get yourself a house, right? You stop paying, the bank can kick you out and foreclose. What can I do after you've gotten intellectual property and content? I can't get it back. So that's why, you know, and part of the Hustlers Camp philosophy of, you know, managing your money properly. Like I said, if you're in the dire straits, go ahead, get one of the free books, hustle your face off, get some money together and buy it properly. I don't want you going in debt. I don't want you borrowing money. And, you know, it'll be here for you. It might be a little bit more expensive, but it'll be here for you versus you doing something crazy to get into Hustle Camp and then creating even more financial hardship. Because the truth of the matter is, even with Hustle Camp, you can start a business, but you're going to look at 6 months to 2 years before you really start making some bread. Because you can hustle and make money instantly, and then building a business takes time. Like, this is why we're doing this stream. This is why, you know, we're giving you behind the scenes stuff, letting you know it ain't all easy, it ain't all roses, but it's doable and you can make money. So the link for Hustle Camp is below. The link for the prepayment plans are below. So let's check out and see if there's any more questions. And that's it. So be sure to slap that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys later.